Due to lockdowns in place, people have been working more and more from home. And as a result, people may find themselves confused about how to conduct themselves on these online platforms. This, however, is not a problem of only the working professionals. Students in schools and colleges have to face the same, as a lot of classes are happening online as well. So this video is for all of them, working professionals and students who want to know etiquette that they should follow while attending these meetings and classes. By the way, in case someone is wondering what netiquette is, it refers to the correct and acceptable way of using the internet. In this case, it is how to behave yourself in these meetings and classes. Hey guys, I am Nilanjan and welcome to my channel. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to learn other useful things like this. Alright, talking to others during these online sessions isn't a whole lot different from talking to others in person. You should be respectful while interacting with others. You could use the following words. Please. Suppose someone said something that you didn't quite understand. Maybe your internet connection gave you some problems or you were not paying attention. In that case, you can say, could you please repeat that? Thank you. Now imagine if the other person repeated what you did not understand the first time. In that case, you should say, thank you for explaining that again, or thank you for repeating that. If the other person thanks you, then you should say, you're welcome, you are most welcome, or it's no problem. If you have to interrupt the other person while they are speaking, you should say, excuse me, could you? For example, if you want them to repeat something, say, excuse me, could you repeat that please? If you make a mistake, or if you want the other person to repeat something, you can say, I'm sorry, and then the rest of the sentence. For example, if you want the speaker to repeat something, you can say, I'm sorry, I could not follow what you said. Could you please repeat it? Here are some other things that you can say, some other expressions that you can use. If you want to ask a question, say, would you mind telling me, or do you mind telling me? And then the rest of the sentence. For example, would you mind telling me the details about this? You can also say, could you possibly tell me something? Could you possibly tell me the details about that? You can also say, I wonder if you would mind telling me something. If you want someone to explain some point that they have already mentioned, perhaps, you can say, I would be interested in knowing something. Sorry to interrupt, but I would like to ask a question. To ask a question, use could instead of can and would instead of will. Could and would are more polite than can and will. If you want to show agreement with something someone has said earlier, say, that's a good idea or that's a great idea. We should definitely do that. Yes, definitely. I agree with what you suggested. If someone volunteers for some work, for example, you can say, yes, by all means, please go ahead. What a good idea. But what if you don't agree with what has been said? It's not like you are always going to agree with the other person, right? To show disagreement, you could say, yes, but I think we could set a higher target. True, but I think we could finish the project by Saturday. I suppose so, but I don't think it will be possible. I see what you mean, but I'm not sure all of us will be able to reach our targets. After asking your question, showing agreement or disagreement, to continue the conversation, you can say, thanks for sharing that. I didn't know that. Great to hear that. Please continue. Okay, so those were some things that you should say. But what about things that you should not say? Don't use curse words. Also, please see what you are typing before sending it. Check your grammar. Keep it coherent and easy to understand. See these texts. Do the messages mean anything to you? I know they don't make sense to me. Don't make the other person struggle with understanding what you are trying to say. Keep the conversation formal. Avoid words like bro or what's up. If you have a basic question, there's a chance that the question has been answered before. Check the previous chat records to see if it has been answered. If it has not been answered, then use the phrases from the previous slides to ask the question that you want to ask. When you are talking in person with another individual, do you shout while talking to them? No, right? Please don't yell while typing something as well. Maybe you don't realize it, but people often perceive text written in capital letters as shouting or yelling. If you want a word to be highlighted, write it in capital letters, but not sentence after sentence. Please leave the keyboard alone. Don't keep typing in the chat box. Yes, you should definitely ask questions if they are important. But if it's something that you can ask later also, please do. If you have to type something, make sure to kiss. Now, perhaps you are wondering, what am I talking about? Well, simply put, KISS stands for keep it short and simple. Make sure that whatever you want to say is brief and easy to understand. Also, please don't post anything inappropriate. See, you may think that whatever you say won't be saved or something like that. But the truth is, once you upload something on the internet, it always stays somewhere on the internet. Furthermore, don't send something inappropriate to others in private messages either. Last few things to remember. Use appropriate titles such as Mr. and Mrs. You can also use terms like doctor and professor. Use clear and concise language like I mentioned before. Avoid texting language like bro and what's up. Since the other person isn't seeing you, they don't know how you are saying something over text. And the other person may not read the sentence in the same manner as you have said it. You can use emojis in that case. They would help you communicate better, but don't overuse them. Ask questions that are relevant to the topic. If there is a discussion going on about who is going to work on a project that is to be completed by Saturday, please don't start talking about what you had for dinner the previous day. Proofread your messages before sending them and make sure that it isn't filled with spelling or grammatical errors that will make reading it a nightmare. Remember those pictures that I had shown you, which didn't really make sense? Yeah, don't be that person. Dress appropriately. You don't need to wear a blazer or a suit and a tie, but don't be in your underwear either. Choose a clean background. Make sure that there is nothing too distracting in the background. You know, the kind of background you need for taking passport size photographs. Also, make sure that there isn't some vulgar picture in the background, which is not suitable for work. Look at the camera while talking. It's like looking at the other person in the eye while talking to them face to face. Be aware of your audio and video settings. Disable the camera or the webcam if you are not using it. Disable the microphone if it is not your turn to speak. Lastly, don't start eating food if the other person can see or hear you. It's distracting and it is unprofessional. Alright, that is it for this video. If you found it helpful, make sure to leave a like down below. Do let me know if you are going to attend online meetings or online classes. If you would like me to make a video about any particular topic, do let me know in the comments below. Make sure to hit the subscribe button below and hit the bell icon so that you get notified when I upload a new video. Follow me on Instagram at ingwithnilanjan. I will leave a link to the profile down in the description. Alright, that's it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.